Welcome to the show, guys. Joseph Robert Camo, the fantasy football counselor. In this video, we are talking about 3 must-draft rookie running backs for fantasy football 2022. I'll give you guys 3 running backs that could really break out this year, that are rookies, that are in a good position to succeed. So this is a big episode because a lot of people ask me all the time, who should I draft? Which rookie running back should I draft? Well, I'll tell you 3 that you must draft. Now, there's a bunch that would actually break out this year. Now, there is a bunch that I really like, and there's a bunch that are in a good position. More than 3, okay, guys? I'm going to give you guys 3 that really kind of jump out at me. But again, there's more, right? Now, if you guys want the whole solution, you want every rookie running back, every rookie wide receiver, every sleeper, every breakout, and where to draft the optimal players and avoid all of those negative players, the guys that are going to be wasted on. Like, you don't want to waste early draft picks on guys that are going to bust. Last year, Dalvin Cook, Nick Chubb, completely busted, right? I'll give you a quick example here. Told you to fade those guys, right? Najee Harris was outside the top 10. I told you to draft Najee Harris. Last year, everybody had Robert Woods in the magazines. I got the magazine right behind me. I've shown it in many videos. I'm not going to show it again, but you can look it up. Robert Woods was ahead of Cooper Kupp last year. I faded Robert Woods. I told you to draft Cooper Kupp round 4. If you guys want to dominate your leagues, guys. Another one, Deebo Samuel. He was on my show. Go look up Deebo Samuel, fantasy football counselor. Everybody had Ayuk ahead of him last year, and tons more examples, guys. I just use those as a quick example for you. Get the 16-round draft solution, and I'm telling you guys, you'll be light years ahead of the competition. It's a video training, optimal notes, everything you guys need to crush your leagues. All right, guys? Get it at thefantasyfootballcounts.com. I've also linked it here below on YouTube. All right? Now, let's dive into these guys. And again, I want to know who you really like as a rookie must-have running back. Want to get your feedback on that, all right? Must-have rookies. Let's get it. Running backs. Now, comment below. Let me know. All right, let's dive into this. First guy here. All right, guys, very, very simple. Breece Hall. Let's talk about him. Now, if you guys don't know, if you're not following the Impact series, again, there's a couple things, guys. I got to talk about story time real quick before we get into this, guys. It's very important. I've taken a lot of time, all right? That's part of my story time. I've taken a lot of time to get beat writers on the show. There's an Impact series below. If you're in the car, go to YouTube and just to look up fantasy football impact of a team, like the Chiefs, or I just did the Cowboys, I did the Seahawks, or just link below this YouTube video. Look at the Impact series. I'm bringing inside information, guys, people that talk about these teams and live these teams, beat reporters, all right? Guys, I just had Tori on. She's the beat reporter for the Atlanta Falcons. She actually works with the team. I'm giving you guys this information. Take advantage of it. It's free content, all right, guys? Make sure you guys are watching the Impact series. That's number 1. Number 2, guys, that 16-round draft solution, you got to get it. I mean, everything is in one spot, okay? I cannot emphasize enough. The mission of you guys listening, obviously, is to have fun and to pique the interest and talk about your passion, but it's also winning. We want to win. What's the point of playing if you don't want to win, right? So get 16 rounds, use code TUBE20, save yourself 20%. Now, again, Breece Hall, the point I'm trying to make here is I had Ian from Jets Central on. He's got an amazing YouTube channel. He talks Jets. He lives and breathes Jets. He's the main source I trust for the New York Jets. He follows all the beat writers. He's writing about it. He's blogging about it. Breece Hall, he had mentioned that he should be the guy. At the end of the day, they drafted up to get Breece Hall, okay? The Jets believe in him. Now, I understand he's on the Jets, and I totally agree with you guys. If you want to stay away from the Jets, I don't blame you. I like staying away from the Jets. I remember a couple years ago, Le'Veon Bell's obviously not as good as Breece Hall. This is a terrible comparison, but to give you some context, everybody wanted to draft Le'Veon Bell round 1 because they copied and pasted. This is actually a good point. I'm glad I'm talking about this. I didn't even talk about this. I got to talk about this on my story mode and blast this everywhere. So make sure you guys get this, be aware of this. Anyway, get this out there. Le'Veon Bell a couple of years ago did really well in the Steelers. Then he was traded to or acquired by the New York Jets. Everybody was drafting Le'Veon Bell top 10. I go, no, stay away. Le'Veon Bell sucks. He was a product of the Steelers offense. He's not that good. And the Jets really sucked. And obviously, I didn't think Le'Veon Bell was good at all. I think, again, he was a product of the offense. And everyone drafted Le'Veon Bell, and he busted significantly. I'm like, dude, don't draft Le'Veon Bell. Now in comes Breece Hall in the Jets, but it's a far more improved Jets offense. And from what I'm hearing, according to what I was talking about Ian, go check out that episode, apparently Breece Hall, should be the starter. Number one, they believe in him. They trade up to get him, and that O-line's improved approximately 20 to 30% better than last year. And Zach Wilson's in a make or break type of season. And they've got wide receivers. So there's so many signs pointing and that excitement stirring in regards to, Breece Hall having this good year. Again, I'm excited about Breece Hall. They're going to use him. He can run, he can catch, quick off the line, looking really good in camps. And again, the coaches love him. They moved up. They needed to address other needs. They could have went defensive players. They could have done other things, but they went with Breece Hall because they see the upside with Breece Hall and the talent is there. The best running back on paper out of this draft class. So Breece Hall, guys, absolutely love him. And here's the thing, the value, right? The value. He's sitting 20th on the consensus rankings, which means you can get him in and around the third round. Look for that ADP to climb up as we get closer to the season and more reports come out on how well he's doing in camp as we get closer to the season. But Breece Hall is a must-have for me at that ADP in the third round. Well, you say, well, Joe, what if his ADP goes to round 2? Depends on who your other running backs are and what your situation is. Again, I'll be doing more mock drafts in the 16-round draft. So should I do mock drafts for you, walking you through this? All right, guys? But I do like Breece Hall. He's a must-have for me, especially in that third round. Second guy here, okay, now he's kind of jumping out at me. There's a bunch of rookie running backs jumping out at me. But this guy stands out to me, and I just had Norb Cam on from the Seahawks. The guy I'm talking about is Ken Walker III. Now, I talked about him before in another video as a potential breakout. I like Ken Walker. Guys, here's the deal, right? Seahawks, they made some improvements on the O-line. They're going to have some problems this year. They might even lose this year. That's something you got to consider. But in regards to opportunity, if Chris Carson's out, Kenneth Walker gets that opportunity to be that running back there and an opportunity to shine, young, hungry, right? Rashad Penny, years to Wiles were not wow. Had a good ending of the season there, but if the Seahawks believed in him, they wouldn't have drafted Walker. Walker's in a prime position to succeed. You saw the plate in the throat of Chris Carson. Hopefully he doesn't play again for his own sake. I don't want to see this guy get hurt. Again, I was talking to Norb Cam about this. We don't want something catastrophic to happen to Chris Carson. It might be better that he retires. Again, for his own safety, right? We'd like to see Chris Carson continue, but man, that's tragic to have a disc in your throat right behind the Adam's apple there, whatever. Listen, I'm not a doctor or anything, but it doesn't look good. When you have a neck injury, that's really a sign that you should probably not continue. It's just a scary thing to see. To have him get hurt again would be catastrophic. So the opportunity here for Ken Walker to shine is really good, predicated Carson. Even if Carson plays, I can't imagine him getting the full workload. I think, it's a great opportunity for Ken Walker to thrive. Obviously, suspect situation with quarterback, with Drew Lock, Geno Smith, whoever started there, but nobody knows, right? But at the end of the day, I think Drew Lock starts. I think it's going to be a good opportunity for Ken Walker to shine if he gets the workload, not sold on Penny. And he's kind of like jumping out at me as a guy that could get that volume, okay? So I think he's a must draft based on volume, sitting 32nd on the consensus rankings. Now, this guy's not going to be your RB1. He's not going to be your RB2. And if you go robust RB, early on, he might not even be your RB3. A solid RB4 with some upside. Now, other guys that you could consider getting at that point, which I would not touch, but here are the people going around in and around that ADP of Kenneth Walker that I wouldn't touch. Chase Edmonds in Miami, I don't trust him. There's no ceiling there. Devin Singletary in Buffalo, absolutely not. They've gotten James Cook, who again is a sleeper as well. Rashad Penny's coming around in and around that ADP as well. Michael Carter as well in and around that ADP and a bit after that. Okay, Michael Carter, like I said, Breece Hall is going to be the guy. So when you look at who's kind of around that, Tony Pollard could be safe, but isn't going to get that ceiling because Zeke is there. He'll never be the one, whereas Kenneth Walker can be the one. And when I'm drafting, I'm always aiming high on the depth chart, okay, guys? Getting that opportunity and that upside is very, very important to me when I am drafting, all right, guys? So Kenneth Walker is a must draft based on ADP. Love the upside, all right? And the third guy here, there's a bunch of guys I want to put in at third. A couple guys jumping out at me saying, me. I'm looking at this, the rankings here. But the guy got he jumps out at me saying 50th on ADP right here amongst running backs. I'm kind of torn between two of these guys. Let's go with this guy. I'm going to go with Damion Pierce in Houston. Now, again, the opportunity is what's really drawing me here. And, of course, the ADP, 50th on the consensus rankings. Are you kidding me? Like, sign me up for that. 50th on the consensus on the Concheapsis ranking. So, again, I'm looking at this and thinking to myself, why not as an RB4, 5 on my team? Now, there is talk. Again, I don't want to be quoted on this, but there is talk that Marlon Mack may be a major pest and will be implemented quite a bit. Now, they have Royce Freeman, Rex Burkhead. They've got some pests there. So for Damion Pierce to really succeed, he's got to separate himself from the pack. How good is Damion Pierce? I mean, go take a look at his college numbers. They looked okay. He can and will be, if you define a guy that can be a workhorse running back, it would probably be Damion Pierce. So let's put it that way. He's got that opportunity to be a workhorse back. He showed us signs in college he could be a workhorse back. He is the definition of what could be a workhorse back. How that'll translate to the NFL, how he'll do on a suspect offense here where Cooks is the wide receiver one and Davis Mills is running the offense. You know, that's a little bit of a concern here. I think it might be a running back by committee and the hot hand takes it here, but I really see Damion Pierce taking that RB1 role. And again, when we're talking late round stashes, and this is very, very important, this is what I try to emphasize to people in 16 rounds, people are drafting names that sound familiar. Maybe getting a Gus Edwards at that value, or a Jamal Williams, or a Kenneth Gainwell, or someone like that, when I could be stashing a guy that could be the RB1 with massive ceiling, could be a breakout guy, all right? So for me, Damion Pierce is a must draft this season, along with the other two I mentioned, Walker and Breece Hall. Are all of them going to go off? Probably not. Are all of them going to finish top 10? Probably not. Could one of them finish top 10? Absolutely. I think Breece Hall has that potential. The other guys, if they get the volume, if the offenses start running well, they have that opportunity. So I'm not sleeping on any of these guys, and they've got that value in the drafts. You don't have to spend a first, second. Well, in Breece Hall's case, you have to spend a third-round pick. That's not bad. And again, his ADP is definitely going to go up. I see him coming off in a second round in some mock drafts, all right? So Breece Hall, tons of ceiling, tons of upside. Kenneth Walker can take that starting job. I don't think Carson's coming back for his health and safety. Hopefully he doesn't, right? And the third one is, and again, I mentioned Damion Pierce. Marlon Mack, years to wow us, we're not wowed, but it can be a pest there in Houston on a suspect offense. But Pierce can get that volume. Now, again, I see Pierce getting a floor of 180 attempts, 600 to 800 yards, and about 4 to 6 touchdowns. That's on a bottom end. That's kind of what I'm predicting with Pierce, but he could shoot up and be an absolute boom this year. We don't know. All right, guys, subscribe, thumbs up, and of course, guys, get the 16-round draft solution. Use code TUBE20. Comment below, which rookie running back do you love? Appreciate you guys. I'm out.